I had really the good fortune of so many people. I can't say I was able to see far because I was standing on the shoulder of giants, but this is very truthful. None of us is an island.
Right.
Everyone is part of the main. This is John Donne, a mystical poet, which I love. Not only I love Ernest Hemingway, whom I also love that, and that's how he starts his story, To Whom the Bell Toll. He starts by saying this poem by John Donne. It's beautiful about this mystical people. They're teaching us real democracy, real respect to everything. And really, Scott, I am not a Buddhist. I find it difficult now, like my daughters, to kill even a spider.
Oh,
Everything
I understand.
living is worth preserving and respecting, even a spider.
Ahimsa, non-violence towards
Yes.
all living things.
Yes.
We must learn that.
Yes. I think this is more important than anything. And when we are that far, then we will realize how important science for the future of our race, for the future of our planet. And when we know we need to spend a trickle of money on research on cancer, a trickle of the money on research on housing for the poor, and all that compares with $1 trillion we are wasting on wars which are senseless and mean nothing. I mean, I love Ezra Pound. Of course, Ezra Pound was a victim.
Ezra Pound.
Ezra Pound was a victim of Mussolini's demagogy, and he loved him more than he should deserve. But the point which Ezra Pound wanted to say is we have to be very wary of the black power which is moving us toward war and causing war without having any prejudice against any race or religion. But it does burn in the spirit of, or in the soul of any human being with the name human being, to see how little we spend on science, research, and philosophy and art compared to the waste which we are ready to destroy other people and other nations under any logo. I, for one, who was very, very nationalistic when I was young and stupid, I still love my country. I love my country because love thy neighbor, love the first people who are near to you. But I'm not ready now, to my shame, to go to war for anything.
No.
Even defending my country. If somebody wants to occupy my country, you're welcome to come. So you have to look after me. You have to feed me, but I'm not going to kill anybody. Maybe only, not maybe, for surely I defend my children and my wife because I know what I'm doing. But I will not even defend myself. If somebody wants to kill me.
So let me
bad.
make a quick comment.
Yeah.
So one of the things we talked about before we started, so much comes from the head. There's all this knowledge, there's wisdom. But once you begin to open up and you begin to realize the more significant things of life, it comes from the heart. And we learn that, I learn it in the rainforest, you learn it somewhere else, but it's love. Love is at the heart of all of this. And so the kind of respect that you're expounding now is really a universal type of love that comes with true wisdom. It is love wisdom, and it is wisdom that is lovingly applied.
You experienced that. I remember you told me the story in the Amazons when you had a death experience. Death is an event outside life, but it is, I'm aware of it. It's in the set we are now, although it's outside the set, because when I'm dead, I will not be there. I will not be aware of that. But then you have this state of experiencing death, and yet you are not dead. This is a unique experience. And you can have this understood by your heart and your brain, and it will transform you. And I think each one of us have had, in the course of a long life, an experience of this kind, not necessarily in the Amazon, but I have noticed even my way of thinking have changed dramatically. And I would say that I regard now my most important realization and contribution, if any, is to realize that you have to start to learn counting. And the only counting you can start to learn is the golden mean system. It is impossible to capture this event using 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a very naive, very, very naive. You know, I have a ridiculous equation. It's, say, 12 is equal 14 is equal 11.071. But this is the naive counting. This is the naive counting after you correct it with what the theory required. And this is the fuzzy golden mean counting, which really captures nature as it is. Unless we accept that 12 equal 14 equal 11.7082033, you know, people who believe only in 1 plus 1 equal 2 will never understand quantum physics, And people who just think that the golden mean is a crackpot, whatever this means, fancy talking, I feel sorry now for them, although I belonged to them for a long time. Yeah.
So in terms of your history and your background, you've recounted some of the important people in your life, which is very, very significant. And I can say the same for me. Unless I had met and been able to study with, in my case, David Bohm, in terms of sacred...
Oh, yes. That's one of the very, very great people. Yeah.
The comparative religion guru, Houston Smith, the astronaut Edgar Mitchell, the sacred geometers, in my case, so important, Keith Critchlow and John Michel, the esotericists who taught me the ancient wisdom, Douglas Baker, and I could go on and on. Those, as you say, we stand on the shoulders of these very great human beings who have shared their wisdom with us, and it's the breadth of vision that they help us see. So perhaps now we move into more some of the insights, perhaps the history of the insights that you have gathered, or we cut right to the chase. However you want to do it, it's your choice.
I want to tell you a story. Maybe because you are familiar with golden mean and you are familiar with nonlinear dynamic and chaos and fractals. And then one of the great name of our science, nonlinear dynamic, is Mitchell Feigenbaum. I met Mitchell. He was an incredible personality. Unfortunately, he is not well right now, not well at all. And give me a lot of grief to know that a great man like him is so sick now. But I met Mitchell in Villa d'Este in Lago Maggiore, near to the Swiss border where I used to live, the Swiss-Italian border. And to tease me, they brought a very aggressive Israeli scientist who always quarreled with anybody. He's very sharp, very intelligent, and very famous. And they brought him, and very nationalistic. And I wasn't anymore that nationalistic. He's Israeli, I'm Egyptian, he's aggressive, I'm not particularly weak either. And so we were in this fantastic hotel, Villa d'Este, and everybody waiting to see the real fight. And you could not believe how human being spirit can sometimes. We became the best friend, and everybody was so disappointed. We are friends till today, I must say. It's Itmar Procaccia from Weizmann Institute. And you see, here it is. There was nothing in his head that I'm Egyptian. There was nothing in my head is Israeli, that we have 7 or 8 wars which lead to nothing. All what we've seen is two people who think alike, two people who love science, two people, before anything, who loved the peace treaty of Sadat to end this nonsense, which is called nonsense.
Anwar Sadat.
So there was a big disappointment to Feigenbaum and everybody to see the two people clashing. It is human spirit. It's infinitely, uncountably infinite, like when you count the digit of the golden mean, when you expand it. You see, the golden mean, the way I do it, is square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 2 equal to 0.61803325, and you go on indefinite like that. Then the square of it becomes 0.39 blah, 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 infinite. You add them together, you get unity. So unity is nothing but the addition of an infinitely many thing plus infinitely many things, and they hide them into one. And you ask anybody to count. If he's a mathematician, he say 0, 1, 2, 3, and he think he can solve the world. This one hides so many things inside it. So you cannot capture this correctly. The real hero of our time, and this is really, I'm borrowing it from my friend and teacher, who's younger than me, Gerard Toft. Gerard Toft always said, Mohammed, the real hero are not the theoretician. The real hero are the experimentalists. The people who try to make sense and show us how the nature is and try to fit them to our very imperfect theory. This is really the difficulty. And they can be helped enormously if we adapt the golden mean system. If you have the golden mean system as the basis of mathematical computation, then you will not need even a quantum computer. And you can do everything in a very easy way, like nature. Look what nature have done without funding.